Hello, and welcome. Welcome to another live. All right, welcome to all returning viewer, listener, subscriber. Welcome back. And if you're new to this space, welcome. Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do that in a respectful way to ensure that we're maintaining our safe community where everyone feels a sense of belonging, where you feel valued. All right. So we share in a respectful way. We do not bash anyone. We do not belittle anyone. So we just keep it real and respectful. All right. So we're here having this quick live because we definitely need to get back to all the excitement that is happening today in terms of the USATF Olympic trials. And of course, we know that cricket is also going on, but it's track and field, and we have to be on the track. And so, what we want to really talk about in this quick live is about the 1, 2, 3 win, from Sha'Carri, Melissa, and TT Terry. All right, but Ruran, hello, how are you doing?
Hello, Natasha Lee. I'm doing
Hi, how
well.
are you?
Okay, great. We're doing
Wonderful.
well. Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
happy that
so
we're here. Yes, go ahead.
just wanting to know what are your views on, this 1, 2, 3 win for these ladies, all coached by Dennis Mitchell. So just want to know your take on this 1, 2, 3 win. And I don't know, I guess I'm starting with you right now. In what does this mean in the context of Paris? How are you feeling about this 1, 2, 3
Well,
win?
this for Dennis Mitchell, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he it should be one proud coach just to be able to have three of his athletes, sweeping the qualification for the 100 meters. So he should be really proud of the work that he has been doing. And, knowing that Sha'Carri came first, Sha'Carri has been doing really well from last year and, showed that she brought that over into this athletic year and is shaping up well for the Olympics. But when you add the other two ladies to that as well, it speaks volume to his camp and the volume to the amount of work that the athletes are putting in. Obviously, there is a good bond there, and some athletes have that problem where they're not able to find that match with the coach. However, these three ladies have done that, finding a good match with the coach, and the results are coming. So
All
back
right,
over to you.
wonderful. So Shakari, don't just go just yet, Red. So Shakari ran 10:7:1, which is the world leading time. And so I don't know, what are your views on that? Do you think that, she is going to lower that time by the time we see her in Paris? Are you thinking that to win that gold medal in Paris, given this world leading time set by Shakari, then we might be looking at a 10-6 race in Paris?
Well, this is going to be where the question mark is going to be because obviously she's doing really well now, and the big question is Shakari at her peak right now? You know, we're not sure where she's at in terms of her program, but we'll just have to keep abreast of what is happening with her. But she's doing really well to run that 9 points. That's our 10.7. That's
One.
really good. Yeah, and that's really good. And we're looking forward to see what else she can produce. But she has been doing really, really, really well for the last few months.
All right, wonderful. Thanks for sharing there, Rurian. And for sure, it's a big win for Dennis Mitchell here. 1, 2, 3 for sure. Shakari there taking the lead. And so right now we're just having this quick conversation, and I'm going to open the line. So for persons who would like to give us a call, you should be seeing that WhatsApp number on screen there. So don't be afraid, give us a call. Would definitely love to hear from you. All right. And again, we're talking about this fantastic 1, 2, 3 win, for Sha'Carri, Melissa, and TT Terry, all coached by you know who, Dennis Mitchell. All right, so welcome, guys. Please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button. And as you know, later this evening, we'll see the men's 100-meter semifinals as well as the finals, a bit later from the semifinals. And so we definitely want to see how that is going to turn out in the context of who will be representing Team USA in the 100 meters. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. Please remember to hit the like button, the subscription button, and give us a call. So right now, I'm going to try and get to Dennis Mitchell because he had something to say. So I'm going to try and bring that up for you. So I'm just going to go to some music while I get that ready for you. So stick and stay, guys. All right, welcome. If you're just tuning in, I have this little clip or some of what, Dennis Mitchell had to say in the context of Sha'Carri, Melissa, and TT. So we're just going to go to that right now.
All right, Dennis Mitchell, coach of Star Athletics, the Block. You just swept the 100-meter podium with Sha'Carri Richardson, Melissa Jefferson, TT Terry. I mean, what was your initial reaction when you saw their names come up?
Man, I was so excited, man. I couldn't do anything but scream, because this is something that these girls have worked hard for, and to be able to accomplish something of this magnitude on this stage, with the incredible girls that they had to run against, is I just can't describe it. But my reaction was just you know unbelievable happiness, not for myself but for them.
All right, so he seems somewhat speechless, as he said he was so excited, happy, and I guess just there trying to find the right words to express, the magnitude of such an achievement.
And I mean, let's talk a little bit of just about each of them. Where Sha'Carri, of course, she's been rolling since last year, coming off the World Championship gold medal. What did you kind of see to make sure that she was prepared to get this title here?
Well, the one thing that we, decided we were going to do after World Championships is not try to be anything different. We in our group, we fight to be ourselves. We don't
All right, so this is significant here in the context of preparation for the Olympic Games. Coach Mitchell is saying, the ladies, they just, be themselves. That's it. We don't try to be who we're not. We know that we're capable, so we just go and do it. All right, do it like Nike. All right, so we just be ourselves. That's pretty much what he's saying. They're just doing what they know that they're capable of doing.
Don't go out and try to be something that we are not. And I think that we fight well because we fight well in the comfort zone because we're going out there and expressing who we are as individuals and as a team.
And then Melissa is a new entrant in a sense. It's kind of her first full year under you. What has the progression been like with her transitioning from her old coach now with you?
Well, Melissa's a very hard worker and she's a smart girl. We went through a lot of, learning curves this year. I introduced a lot of new things to her, some new kind of training, workouts that were a little bit harder than she's used to. But she's a hard worker. She adapted to all of them. She's eager to learn, and all of those qualities, are things that she needed to be able to make this transition comfortable for her.
And so here specifically relating to Melissa, Melissa, I guess, recently joined, I guess perhaps within a year. And so, what Coach Mitchell is saying, she had a lot to do in terms of the new program, adapting, it took a lot in terms of the work. So, she's a hard worker, she's very smart, and, based on those qualities, that's pretty much, what we're seeing in the context of the results, being placed second there, right behind, Sha'Carri.
And then TT Terry, on paper, right, her season wasn't as excellent as, for us spectators, not getting under 11 seconds yet, but she showed up like she had done in previous years. What did it take for her to be able to make this team?
Well, she just needed to show it out there on the track. TT, just like all my other girls, is a very hard worker. We have seen TT in practice, execute as well as anybody in the world. And I knew that she was in 10-8 shape. We just needed to put it out there on the track. But she's been showing it every day in practice.
And then
All right, so TT, although we might not have seen her gone below that 11 seconds, coach was confident that she could, and, that she had that 10-8 in her. And so, again, hard work and I guess that strong determination, paid off for TT here as well. So, guys, please remember to hit the like button, the subscription button, and share, share, share. So, Ruren, I'm going to come over to you.
Yeah, great interview there by the coach, showing us that he knows his athletes very well, and he's so proud of them. As you said, he's lost for words in describing, the amazing feat that they have just achieved. But the fact that I'm not remembering the name of the athlete that was there with him for less than a year, around about a year, and the progress that has been made, that speaks volume to
Melissa.
Melissa, yes, that speaks volume to what he is doing with them, and kudos to him. It's a lot of hard work, keeping the athletes fit as well as getting them to improve. That is it. I don't think that's an easy task or easy thing to balance, and he has been doing that so well that he had swept the 100 meters, for their camp, and that is, just remarkable. The young ladies are really striving above the rest. And, just to think about the fact that these are all first time qualification too for these young ladies for the Olympics for the 100
Well,
meters.
perhaps not for Sha'Carri, but based on situations that had happened, then she did not get to go to, where was
Yeah,
it,
for
Tokyo?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, amazing for them, and, just want to wish them all the best going forward as it relates to their goal in terms of running really well at the Olympics, because they have crossed that first hurdle really well.
So, Ruran, I'm going to put you on the spot. All right, we are yet to see the outcome, I guess, of the Jamaica trials because that will be this week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But the 27th, I believe, to the 30th. And so we're let's just zoom in on Sha'Carri here. Do you think she's poised to win that gold medal? So, given what we have seen so far from the Jamaicans in terms of the women and the 100 meters, do you believe that Sha'Carri is pretty much the favorite going to Paris? I mean, she has a flight booked. So, do you think she is the favorite to take this Olympic gold medal?
Well, currently she is because she has produced some of the fastest times, so far. So you have to give that to her. And we're not seeing where, let's say, the Jamaicans are putting up good times or something close to what she has been, putting out there. So at this moment we have to give her that nod. But there's quite a few weeks before the Olympic Games, and coaches are working hard with their athletes out there. And somebody could just come from Westfield too, if and take this. So we can't block out those, but based on the performances, based on the numbers that we have now, we have to just give that to Sha'Carri. She is the leading performer in the 100 meters so far, and she is definitely the favorite at the moment.
All right. So, do you believe that the Jamaicans perhaps might have the ability to spoil the party? And I guess bear in mind too, Julian Alfred there from St. Lucia. She too, I believe, is one for us to watch. And so, in that context, what do you believe that we should perhaps expect from the Jamaicans? I mean, perhaps I'm not sure if the Americans with this, especially with this 1-2-3 win from the ladies here, all coached by Dennis Mitchell, is it really signaling to the Jamaicans to watch out? Does it in this context, I am just wondering, given the relationship with these girls, right, young ladies, would it be something different if, for example, we had, different ladies from different camps, winning? But does this send a strong message to other athletes or other competitors to say, watch out, we are a block, we're ready, and we're going to show up and deliver?
For sure, I think that's a strong message out there, and it's a good yardstick, a good measuring stick for all the athletes. So that Shakari has done 10-7-1. So if you're going to compete with her, you'll have to at least be running 10-7-0. So that will give you a benchmark and say, all right, this is where I'm aiming at. If I get that going in, then I should be able to, you know, do well or compete with her in that sense. And as you mentioned, Julian Alfred is, one that comes to mind when it comes on to, giving her a good challenge. But we have to take it in strides, and they, as athletes, know that they'll have to take it in strides too, and just watch their progress going into making sure that they're at their best when it comes on to the Olympic Games. So one, they have qualified. That's the first thing that they have checked off the box there. They have they have qualified, and the next thing that they're going to do is try to keep themselves in good order so that when the Olympic Games come around, they can do pretty well. And the other aspect of your question that you asked about in terms of the Jamaicans, I will never rule out the Jamaicans out of this 100-meter race. As I said, there are a few weeks coming up there, and there's lots of experience coming from that Jamaica camp there. So you still have the likes of, Shelly and Fraser and, Elaine Thompson and also Sharika. So those ladies are there. They have a bit of experience, probably a little bit more experience than these three ladies. And we have to value experience, considering that they were going to have rounds You're going to have the heats, then semis, and then the finals. So, lots of excitement to come up. It's good that Sha'Carri is maintaining her good performances, and it's going to be good to see who is going to, push her or pass her as it relates to this 100 meters race. But as I said before, she's definitely the front runner.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, congratulations to Team USA 123 win here from Shakari, Melissa, and TT Terry. So, while you were talking, a couple of things came to mind. One, you mentioned Elaine and Shelly, and for those of us, who have been following this closely, you might have listened to Stephen Francis, MVP coach, their head coach, I believe, interview in the context. And there was a particular question that was posed to Francis in the context of, Shelley and Elaine. And Francis was saying that he's not so convinced about them in the context of their performance, and I guess below par performance, as fans might be describing those performances as. He was pretty much saying, this is what I got from what he was saying. Like, let them show up and show me that they're not performing. And I am wondering about that because for him not to be so convinced, is it that we are being tricked or something? But it's kind of hard to believe that. But for Francis, in terms of the history, having coached, Shelley and Elaine, to make that statement, he was like pretty much saying, you know what, our athletes know they're going to show up and do what they need to do because he's not so convinced with those two ladies and, what we're seeing currently. So he's like, let us see what happens when they show up. So I'm going to kind of turn to you to hear what you have to say about that before I get to the other point with these three ladies here, Shakari, Jefferson, and Terry.
Yes, Stephen Francis is one that when he speaks, you have to pay keen attention to what he's saying. I'm not sure exactly what he's alluding to, but the fact that he's not convinced with the performances of those ladies, that is Shelley and um, Elaine, then we have to just keep an eye out to see if there is a good performance or two coming around. I know the Jamaicans and most persons are focused, are zooming in on that national trials, and I'm not sure if they were running in terms of saying, all right, I'm conserving my energy, making sure I'm healthy, so I can execute a good race on the whenever it is necessary, which is would be the championships there in Jamaica, or I don't know what he was alluding to. But here's the R now. So it could be a case with the experience that Stephen has working with the experiences he have working with those two ladies, that he knows that they have what it takes to turn things around. Or, at the point where they are at now, he knows that with a bit of tweaking, then they could, drop their time significantly. So I'm thinking that, he's coming from a place of facts and knowledge. I'm not sure how close he is to the other coach that, other coach that coaches both Shelley and Elaine, but information could be exchanged in that sense, maybe formally or through the grapevine, who to tell. But I'm thinking that he's getting this information from reliable sources or based on his experience working with those ladies. And it is something that we need to look out for, and might be a discussion that we might have in the future.
Yeah, for sure, because I started to pay attention to that because I am saying, as you mentioned, like when he speaks, you kind of have to weigh each word, to kind of figure out because usually very loaded. And so in that context, I was like, okay, you're not too convinced. So what is happening here? And but the other part to that is that based on what we were told earlier, Elaine, well, I guess in quotation, is not going to run the 200 meters. And so that too is kind of sending me, another vibe. But could it be a case where we see her doing the 200 meters come? We have a few more days to find out in that context. So the next point, Ruren, that came to mind in the context of these three ladies here, Sha'Carri, Melissa, and Titi Terry, is the relays. And so, well, I guess the 4 by 100 for women. And so, in this context, right? Well, I'm going to say, based on how things are now, I am expecting these three ladies to be in Team USA final relay team. And it may not necessarily be that case because sometimes we see Team USA being very strategic in terms of how they're organizing their team, and it pays off well for them, as opposed to what we may see with a Jamaican team. All right. So in that context, I'm just looking at this to say, these three ladies coming from the same camp and, with that synergy, knowing how to work together, this could be an advantage for Team USA in terms of winning that gold medal in the 4 by 100. So I'm putting that over to you to get a sense of, what your views are in that context.
Well, it's quite admirable that the U.S. team has three ladies who are performing really well at the moment. But we have to bear in mind that that's a relay, and you touched on it, and that's the point I want to underscore. Where U.S. is quite strategic with their relay teams and who runs their curves. We know the 100 meter is a straight race, so they would probably want to use two of those ladies on their, on the backstretch and on that final 100-meter leg. But, US normally has some good athletes who run the curve. For example, Gabby that they normally put.
Gabby. Yeah.
Yes, the normal put on the curve. So the relay is not necessarily for US, let me say for the US team, the relay team is not necessarily made up of the three persons that qualified for the 100 meter, but the four persons that
Not
they
too
believe.
sure. Not too sure based on their policy. I don't know, but they usually bring in because maybe they have to use the top three, but they usually bring in like a Gabby that we saw last time around, who is able to, as you say, run that curve very, very well.
Yeah, so the point that I was making was that they're going to get their best team out there, and the team that they think is most efficient to get that baton around in order to win the race. And I think that's what their focus will be on, not necessarily who has that camaraderie or what they're going to work on the four persons that they think is most efficient in getting that baton around. And if it means that they leave out one of these ladies sometime or so, they will do that to ensure that, they win or they put their best foot forward as it comes on to the 4 by 100 relay. So it's kind of like that, but I will always say this: it's good to have that depth in your squad where you have great athletes to pick and choose from in order to execute our relay team. They are really blessed with that, and we know the second point I want to make is that the relay is always what would we say? It's a challenging race because you're running around with that baton, and the important thing is getting that baton around, and anything can happen in a relay. So you'll have to just put your best team out there, practice as best as possible, and try to execute on the big stage. And hopefully that works well. So it's that when it comes down to their relay team, they have depth, so they will have to make the big decisions of who they believe will be able to take that baton around the best or most efficiently, and have those persons working together. And I'm saying that relay team does not necessarily have to have all these three ladies inside. Yeah, I'm not sure how it works, but a possibility like that, they will mix and match.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Guys, welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, we would love to hear from you. The WhatsApp number is on screen. Give us a call. We have a few more minutes here before we wrap this one up. And please hit the like button. Yes, close the live chat. Press that thumbs up button and also hit the subscription button. All right. Tell a friend to tell another friend about the Voices in Education. So right now we're talking about the women's 100 meters, all right? And so we have here all, I guess, the top three training partners, one, two, three here, all coached by Dennis Mitchell. Would love to hear your views in the context of what this win means for these ladies in Paris. In Paris, bonjour, comment ça va? All right, hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We would love to hear from you. So you can share in the live chat, but would love to hear your voice and to know voices, not just my voice or Rurian's voice. So give us a call. Again, the WhatsApp number is on screen there. Would love to hear from you. And we can do better with the likes and the subscription. So just hit the thumbs up button, hit that subscription, all right, hit subscribe, and let us continue to grow stronger together. So I don't know who is going to give us a call right now, but let's see. Let's see. Hopefully we get a call. And I am just checking the chat here. Sometimes I am not able to see the chat, but I'm not seeing any comments here in the chat. So hopefully it is working. All right. But for sure, I believe our line is working. So give us a call. Would love to hear from you. So later on, I mean, we're not talking about the men really in terms of the focus, but we'll see the 100 meters semi-finals later on, as well as the finals there. So just to let you know, as well as other events there. But right now, the focus here, this 1, 2, 3 win for these ladies. What does this mean in the context of Team USA? Were you expecting somebody else in the top three here? Would also love to hear your views in that regard as well. So Sha'Carri with a world leading time of 10:71, Melissa Jefferson 10:80, and that's a PB for Melissa. So that tells you a lot there. And for TT Terry, 10:89, and that's a season best for TT Terry. So, I believe it's just fantastic. Fantastic. And perhaps one of the best moments so far, of the US Olympic, trials. Just seeing that 1, 2, 3 sweep from all these ladies here coached by Dennis Mitchell. And what I'm going to ask you, Rurian, is that will we see a similar sweep from the ladies at MVP? Because when I listen to Stephen Francis again, he was saying that the ladies that they have now is the best group that they have ever had. So that is kind of strong too in that sense. So, I mean, in that context, plus in the other context where he's not so convinced with what is happening with a Shelly and a Elaine, is it possible that we could see a MVP sweep, or is it going to be the usual Sharika, Elaine, Shelly? What do you think?
Right now, naturally, I'm not too sure how that will go, based on the performances that we have seen, well, that I've seen so far. But what I'm thinking is that this has opened a lot of variables as it relates to who could finish in that top three. As you know, slowly it's coming into her own there as well. and putting herself forward into the mix. So you have Shelly, you have Elaine, you have Sharika slowly, and you have the other persons who normally they're persons like Kemba and Brianna Williams. So it's going to be a nice field to see who will take the top three spots. And based on the performances so far, we're not too sure of who might take this. And that's something that has brought a lots of excitement going into well, you could say excitement or concerns going into the Jamaica national trials. But let's see what will happen there. Let's see if what Stephen was saying will, be realized. Let's see if there's going to be new people representing the Jamaica in the 100 meters race. Let's see how that one pans out. But for now, the numbers that I'm seeing not so impressive, so I don't know exactly how to call this one. But I'm excited to see who will represent Jamaica, and I'll definitely give them my 100% support.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. So I guess I'm going to pin this WhatsApp number in the chat. What I want to do, I'm going to see if I can get the results of from this 100 meters women run here in the US. So let me just stop sharing here and see how best I can perhaps bring that up for you guys. And let us go here and let us see if we can, that's the semi. Let us see if we can just take a quick look here at the results. So if it is that you're not able to view it properly, just, go horizontally and kind of maximize your screen so that you can kind of see what is here. All right, so just to look at the results. So as we can see here, Sha'Carri 1071, and that's a season best there. Melissa Jefferson 1080, personal best TT Terry 1089. Now in the number 4 spot, Tamari Davis 1091, season best. Alia Obbs 1093. So I am like Alia Obbs, I guess a little bit of surprise there in the number 5 spot. Tamari Davis, perhaps for me, I would perhaps, before this race would have perhaps have her in that top 3. Perhaps, TT Terry would not be on my list there. But, again, it is what it is. These are the results, all right. And then Tamara Clark here in 6:10:95 season best. So this is really fantastic here too because we have 6 ladies who went under 11 seconds. And so that is definitely fantastic here when we look at the results. So 1071, 1080, 1089, 1091, 1093, 1095. So 6 ladies going under 11 seconds. And then we have Candice Hill, 11 flat, Jenna Prandini, 11:02, Anavia Battle, 11:12. So, Ruran, in the context of these results, I am wondering if you have, anything you'd like to share. I mean, 6 ladies going on the 11 seconds. That's fantastic. Hello, Anne Marie Brown. Welcome, welcome. Yes, guys, please hit the like button, share button, and subscription button. So over to you, Ruren.
Yeah, an amazing feat for the 6 ladies there to go underneath 11 seconds. And, it has been hard for the ladies to break that 11-second barrier this year. I think based on what the coach said, it was the first time that TT Terry went under 11 seconds
This
this
season.
season. So that speaks a volume to the depth of that US team. I'm thinking that these top six ladies could be, the persons where they kind of pull their relay team from. And
Right.
think about that some of these ladies can come in to run the prelims to give the quicker ladies a little break so that they can execute better in the final. This speaks volume to the depth in the US team. And they're going to be really dangerous in that 4x100 meters relay there at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. And if it is that most of these ladies are perhaps these ladies have not yet peaked, then, we can expect, something extremely good. And so even here, Sha'Carri 1071, I suspect perhaps she's not yet at her peak. So maybe we're going to perhaps see a 10-6. And who knows, is she trying to go for that record? We'll see. But I am thinking like 10-6 something for that Olympic gold, perhaps, unless we see otherwise. But from what we're seeing here, in the context of Sha'Carri, then, 10-7-1 right now is good, and it's sending a very strong signal, I suspect. So I'm not sure if you have anything else you'd like to
Yeah,
share regarding these
I,
results.
I, I totally agree with you. I'm just looking back at the results too, and I'm comparing it with what the Jamaicans have run so far. With I think Shirley opening with 11-1-5 and Sharika with
11-0-3.
11-0-3, and
Elaine Best
Elaine
is 11-3-0.
11-3-0. So these three top experienced ladies from Jamaica, they haven't broken the 11 second barrier yet. And if we were to put their best times going forward in the US trials, they would not make the top six. So
No, they
it's
wouldn't even in the top nine because Anavia is
well, for
11-1-2.
sure. Yes, for sure. For top nine. So they wouldn't even be a part of that race. So, as as Steven said, I'm hoping that Steven is right when he's saying that,
He's not too
don't
convinced.
yes, don't be fooled by those performances. They're good performances around the corner. That would be good for the Jamaican team. But as I said, as you alluded to earlier, we don't have much longer to wait for this. It's going to be on the weekend, and we hope to get all of these information at hand, and then we'll be able to holistically or probably better able to see exactly how the Jamaicans might match up against the US team, and who are the persons who will book their ticket to Paris.
For sure, for sure. And, we'll be, Ruren, we're perhaps you just need to turn off there. We'll be here. We'll be here for that for sure. All right, in terms of the Jamaica trials, so ensure that you turn on your post notification. Well, you have to subscribe first, so hit the subscription button, tap that bell, select all, so that you do not miss any updates. All right, hit the subscription button, like, share, 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 tell a friend to tell another friend about the voices in education. So, guys, I pinned the WhatsApp number in the chat there because we kind of shift screen here just to bring up some information for you. So give us a call if you'd like to, or you can definitely share in the chat. Again, we're just talking about the women's 100 meters there in the Olympic trials, the US Olympic trials, Sha'Carri winning with a season best of 1071. And we're here looking at the data and seeing that the top six ladies, they went, below 11 seconds. And that is fantastic, fantastic. And so, Rurian shared that this speaks very well to their relay team, even in the prelim rounds. And so, in that context, Team USA is looking very good. All right. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome. Please hit the like button. So, close the X, press that thumbs up button, and also subscribe. Those are the easiest ways to support us, liking, subscribing, sharing. And absolutely, if you want to get super, you can. And we have channel membership if you're interested in that as well. All right, so that was the 100 meters there. All right, I guess we could perhaps look at the quickly because we just have a few minutes to go. And we know that, as I said to you, the semifinals coming up today for the men. All right, later on, I think at about 7:48 p.m. Jamaica time, and then we'll have the finals at around. I'll look. I'll let you know the time in Jamaica time. But this is I guess, the results here in terms of persons or the men, moving forward. And so we see, Lyles 992, Christian Coleman 999, Penny here 10 seconds flat, Courtney Lindsay 10 seconds flat there, Fred Curley 1003, PJ 1006, Marcellus 1006, Kendall 1007, Brandon Icklin 1008, Lance 1009, Josephus Lyles, that's Noah Lyles' brother, 1010, Kyrie King 1011, Cooper 1014, Ronnie 1015, Zacchaeus 1016, Taylor 1019, Amir 1019, Elijah 1019, Kobe 1019, JT 1021, Christian Miller 1022, Sam 1023, Helen 1023, David 1026, Max 1027, and Elias 1028. So I guess those are the qualifiers. And I am seeing here Dominique 1031. So the qualifiers there, and they have it heat by heat, but here we go. So Lyles 1, heat 1, Fred Curley 2, Brandon Nicklin 3. All right. So those are the results. And again, we will see the semifinals today. I believe we should see the time here. Oops. Let me see if I can get that for you. All right, it comes 7:48 p.m. Jamaica time. That's the semifinals, right? And then the finals is going to be 9:49 p.m. Jamaica time. All right, so those are the times, and we'll see how best if we can come on quickly just to talk about the men's 100 meters final. So ensure that you keep on your post notification and you have to subscribe. So, again, the semifinals, coming up, and these are the heats. So in each one, we'll see Elias, Christian Miller, Josephus Lyles. Then we have here Ronnie Baker, Cooper Babes, Fred Curley, Courtney Lindsay, Amir Webb, Kobe Hilton, E2, Dominique, JT, Elijah, Noah, Kendall, PJ, Kenny, Zacchaeus, and Max. Next heat here, Kaylin, Sam, Taylor, Lance, Brandon, Christian, Marcellus, Kyrie, David. All right, so these three heats, and we're told it's the top five of each heat. Couldn't be. I guess they're telling you how they got to the final. So top two of each semifinal, and then the next three fastest advance to the final. All right. So top two from each final, and then the next three fastest. So, Ruben, I'm not sure if you have anything you'd like to share here before we move on. Ruben?
Here, not actually. Just like this year, that some good names there being mentioned: the Lyles brothers, Christian Coleman. Lots of the guys who we know have done really well in the 100 meters, and it's going to be an interesting final. Back over to you.
Yeah, I just can't see Fred Curley showing up. I mean, Curley said to us that the next time he touches the track, but Curley not delivering. Currently not delivering, Currently not delivering the goods. So I'm not too sure what's going on with Curly. Curly promised us something. Next time you touch the track, like, what time, Fred? What time? I want to know what time. Because you're not delivering. You're not delivering the goods. All right. But, for sure, based on what we know here, Noah Lyles is the favorite. And perhaps Fred Curley is not going to make the top three. I don't know why I have that feeling, but Lyles, I'll say Coleman and somebody else, but perhaps not Fred. I'll see. And I'm just saying that out loud, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens in that context for sure. So let me just check the chat here. And I am not seeing any new comments here. All right, so I mean, if you're just tuning in, just want to let you know that Sha'Carri Richardson, yes, Sha'Carri, booked her spot to the Paris Olympics, winning the women's 100 meters final at the USA Olympic trials in 10.71 seconds, a world leading time. All right, Sha'Carri's training partners, Melissa Jefferson and Twanisha Titi Terry, were placed second and third, respectively. And all three training partners are coached by Dennis Mitchell. And we heard, earlier from, Dennis Mitchell, and it was just so hard in terms of him finding the word to describe, how he's feeling about this win. But any coach, will be, I guess, on top of the world right now, just having swept, that 100-meter, race there, taking all the spots, all booking all the flights there to Paris, of course. So Team USA well represented here. And based on the results that we saw, let me just quickly find that for you. Based on the results that we saw, right, from the 100, I'm getting there. Yeah, finals. So back on screen here, we noticed that, the top six, they were well below that 11 seconds, well below 11 seconds. So that tells you a lot in terms of the quality, all right, and what we can expect to see from Team USA in Paris, of course. And so, again, that is also, fantastic. And if you're a track and field, like, a track fan, you love this excitement. This is definitely interesting. And USA, they sound their alarm, and we're here waiting to see how Jamaica is going to respond. So that's what we're here doing now, just pretty much waiting, Rural, to see how Team Jamaica is going to respond. Are you in agreement with that, Rural? How do you believe they're going to respond? Are they just going to just come, slowly just win and just move on, like, one step at a time? Or do you think that they're going to respond to Team USA? All right, not hearing from Ruren there, but
Not
again,
totally.
go ahead.
I'm here now. As you said, slowly. It's. I'm not sure if you're playing on the name there or the
Slow.
word. So slowly doing really well. So that's probably one of the ways in which we might respond to what's happening in the American trials. So that's one of the ways. But I definitely see the Jamaicans coming out and putting in a good show because, the sprints are usually contested. Normally it's either the US team or the Jamaicans for the last few, years that have been on top. So, the rivalry is there. And, I don't think the Jamaicans want to let all of that go to the US this year. So they're going to come out to compete.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. All right, thank you so much for sharing that, Rurian. So we're pretty much going to wrap this one up. All right, and so I just want to thank you so much for coming over. Thank you so much for sharing, for listening. All right, thanks for hitting the like button, and you still have some more time to just close that X, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscription button, and ensure that you turn on your post notification. If time allows, then we perhaps, might go live later on after that 100 meters, men's final. But I understand, given that they're in Eugene and the time difference. And so I'm not sure how many person will be up for that, but we'll see what happens in terms of just giving a quick update. And Najee one, welcome, welcome. Yes, the men will have the final today. It's going to be about 9:49 p.m. Jamaica time. All right, so the semifinals will happen at 7:48 Jamaica time. All right, and then the finals will be at 9:49 Jamaica time. So you can work out that based on where you are. All right. So thanks for asking there. All right, guys. So we're wrapping this one up because lots happening and we want to see what's going on and be able to share with you guys. So perhaps we'll be back later, after that 100 meters final. So hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and ensure that you turn on your post notification. All right, because that is definitely, definitely important if it is that you're going to get some updates from this channel. All right, once again, congratulations to Sha'Carri, Melissa, and TT Terry. All right, they'll be representing Team USA in the 100 meters there in Paris. All right. All right, and thanks to you for tuning in. All right, please remember to like, share, subscribe. Yes, tell a friend to tell another friend about the Voices in Education as we continue to grow stronger together. Thanks, Ruben, for joining, and I'll see you guys in the next live. Blessings and love, everyone. Bye for now.